Hey you guys, this is Jen again. This is not going to be very formal, but everybody wanted to know how I do beeswax. And so I wanted to show you. This is an old um, candle warmer, and they have different kinds of things you can heat wax in, but they're usually pretty expensive. I've had this for years, and you put like a Yankee candle in it, and then you turn it on, and it releases the scent of the candle without burning it. And what I did was I just took beeswax, and I don't know if you can see in there, but it melts the beeswax just like it melts the candle wax, and it makes your beeswax, runny like that. And the nice thing about it is it doesn't get too hot, and it doesn't, like, if you try and do it on the stove or whatever. So when you're doing this, the beeswax just comes in a big chunk. I know I've got another one around here somewhere, but I can't find it right now. But anyway, it comes in a big chunk of wax, and I just put the whole thing in there and let it start melting. It takes a while to melt, but once it does, then you can work with it. And then you just take, like, anything, like, I've got a page here that I'm going to work on for my next journal, and I wanted to put some fabric pieces on it. So you, like, just take a fabric piece or whatever, and then you get in your pot and get the wax and just paint it on like you would anything, like you would paint. And then, you can do it over a piece of waxed paper, and then when the wax drips on something, you can just, when it hardens, you can peel it off and put it back in the pot. I'm doing this just so that I can tape it for you so you can see what I'm doing. And then, you can add to it anything you want. It sticks, metal objects will stick, paper objects will stick, and just keep adding to this. Like I said, this is very hard to do while I'm trying to record it, but you just basically paint over the object that you want to put on your paper, and you just keep adding wax so that it will stick. And then you can see how it, like, gets a buildup and it gets really thick. And so I also have some little tools. One looks like a little teeny tiny iron, and you can take it over your wax, and then the wax will melt and, give you some more room to work with. Like this image of this girl, I'm going to put this on here. And so you just, the first time I did this, I freaked out, and I was like, oh my God, I've ruined the picture. But don't worry about it, because with wax, it's very forgiving, and anything that you do can be undone. If you don't like the thing you just put on your page, you can take it off. You can just get, like, I have a heat tool that I got from Stampin' Up, and you just blow the heat tool and the wax will just melt right off, and then your paper, whatever you just put on comes right off. You go ahead and see, you can't even see through the wax, but then you just build up the wax, and I'm going to put some more wax on it over here where it's laying down so I can see what I'm actually doing. And then once the wax starts to harden, which is like almost immediately, then you can make it stick down on the paper or whatever the source is that you're adding it to. So you just kind of keep working with it a little bit at a time, and it is hot, so sometimes you'll want to get a tool or something to hold on to the piece that you're adding so you don't burn your fingers. And then when it finally starts to stick, which is what it's trying to do now, you can add, like, let the ink drip down in the crack and then push it down to the paper so that it'll stay. And I realize that what I'm doing here is not very professional, but I'm trying to give you the idea of the wax and how it looks and how it acts on the paper. It's really fun to play with because, like I said, you can stick anything to it, and it's very easy to redo or take off what you just did. So it's very forgiving. It also gives, I got kind of a yellowish color, which is like a natural beeswax color. They have like white, and they have all different colors actually. And you can also take just crayons out of a box, and you can melt those into the wax pot and change the whole, color of what you're going for. And you can also drip crayons onto the wax, and it will make like dots of color, and they will run. So now what I have here looks like a very hot mess. And then I'm just going to take my heat tool, and I'm going to hold it over the pot so that the wax will drip back inside the pot. And as you can see, as the wax heats up, it starts to melt. I hope you can see this. And the wax comes off the picture, but you still have, like the waxy finish. And then you can push down on the wax, and eventually all of your elements will stick together, and it will make a really pretty kind of a distressed looking thing. And like, let me see, here's a couple that I've already finished. And I also made these parchment sheets, and I'm gonna put those between each page so that they don't stick together. But then, like you stick your stuff on, and it's very, I don't know, it smells really good, and it's permanent. Like, I mean, nothing can mar your artwork after you do this, and it's kind of flexible. So anyway, I just wanted to give you an idea of what it's like to work with beeswax. Thanks for watching. Bye.